What's up, guys? My name is Lexi, here to talk about all things sports. Let's just go ahead and jump right in because there's a lot to talk about. One of the things is that the Tennessee Titans are deciding to hire Nick Foles as their offensive coordinator. He is coming from the Jacksonville Jaguars. The other one is they're not Oakland anymore, is the Las Vegas Raiders, and they are set to hire Cliff Kingsbury as their offensive coordinator. Making sure I said that right. The other team that is set to hire an offensive coordinator is Patriots, and they are hiring Alex Van Pelt as their offensive coordinator. The other teams that are set to hire a defensive coordinator, the Rams, they're set to hire Chris Shula. The other team is Packers with Jeff Hafley. That was it for the offensive and defensive coordinators. Now we have other teams that are set to hire their new coaches, and one of the coaches being the Commanders are hiring Dallas's defensive coordinator Dan Quinn as their new coach. Brad Idzik, he's going to be the offensive coordinator for the Panthers, but he will not make any play calls. Steelers are set to hire ex-Atlanta Falcons coach Arthur Smith as their offensive coordinator. In other news with coaching, Jerry Jones said that he could see himself working with Bill Belichick. Again, that might not be until next year because he is expected to keep their coach for this year on an expiring contract. I talked about that a little bit in my last video. And as of right now, that is all of the news in coaching. If there's any more, I'll let you guys know on Monday whenever I have a new video out. Moving on from coaching, let's talk a little bit about the draft. As we all know, the Chicago Bears have the number one pick. As of right now, they do have a quarterback, Justin Fields, but there's talk that they could be using this number one pick to pick another quarterback. There's a lot of talk that Justin Fields may be staying because he does make a lot of good. He has a hard time with staying healthy. Again, that's a line issue with keeping him safe, and hopefully they can figure that out if they do keep Justin Fields and working with him on consistency. It seems a lot of quarterbacks this year really need help with consistency. So that is something to consider. Hopefully all of these teams can get this together for next year, and we'll see a lot of teams that deserve to be in the playoffs next year in the playoffs. Moving on from the Bears, the Dolphins also have 6 picks in the draft this year, one being a first round pick, and we all know that Tua Tagovailoa does have 2 very strong people to throw to, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. He has a lot of other strong people too, but those are the 2 main ones that he throws to. If they can find a third person that he can count on, that would also be helpful because a lot of people know Tyreek Hill is his main person he throws to. Jalen Waddle also is a main person, and those 2 get covered very often by defense. So if they could find a third person that is strong, but he doesn't rely on as much, and they don't tend to cover, then it would be good because at least he always has that person as an option. Moving on from the draft, we have a game this weekend, which is the Pro Bowl game on Sunday. They have been playing throughout the week, but Sunday is the big game for them, and it should be a lot of fun. Right now there is 6 Dolphins players that are playing. Tua is one of them. Tyreek is one of them. Raheem Mostert is the other one. Alec Ingold is the other. Taron Armstead and Jalen Ramsey. Other names to mention that are in the Pro Bowl right now is, of course, Jason Kelce. We all know this. Jay Stroud is also playing. Jalen Hurts, Jalen Johnson, Montez Sweet, and Baker Mayfield are also playing in the Pro Bowl this weekend, and I hope that they have a lot of fun. Moving on from the Pro Bowl, Moving on from the Pro Bowl, we have the Super Bowl that is supposed to be coming up. February 11th is the Super Bowl. As we all know who made it, it is the Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Francisco 49ers. I wish both teams good luck, and I would love to see the 49ers win, but we'll have to see because Kansas City seems to be a team that nobody can beat. And they have a lot of very good people that play on both teams. So I wish both teams good luck, and I can't wait to see what happens. In other news of the Kansas City Chiefs, we do have Travis Kelce, who just spoke on the Ravens game last week during his podcast, New Heights, with his brother Jason Kelce. He said that Justin Tucker violated an unwritten rule while stretching and placing his equipment where Patrick Mahomes was practicing for the Ravens game. He said that he was doing it as a taunting trick. Not Justin Tucker, but Travis Kelce said that he was doing it as a taunting trick, and that he kept winking at him and was saying that it was just a joke. I do think that throwing his stuff was a little unnecessary, but I also think that him taunting was unnecessary. And I think that a lot of players in the NFL really need to just back off a little bit when it comes to the playoffs. It is a high stress time, and they are all trying to get to the Super Bowl, but it is also another game, and they need to treat it as such. And I think that is why a lot of people do not win playoff games, is because they stress out over it a lot more than they need to. And a lot of these teams did not need to stress out over it because they were teams that were doing amazing. You had the Ravens that were playing very well. The Dolphins made it. The Buccaneers also were playing very good, but they stress out over trying to make it to the Super Bowl, and I think that a lot of them need to remember that it is another game. Moving on from the NFL, we have one last story, and this is a story that I think a lot of people have heard, especially if you follow Formula One. That is, Lewis Hamilton will not be with Mercedes in the 2025 season. This is his last season with Mercedes, and he will be moving to Ferrari after this. That is all for today's video. Please let me know what you think on all of these topics, and leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. And I will see you guys on Monday with a new video, and I hope you all have a great weekend.